Hi, it's James Harrison. It's time for Sunday Stories, and today, in honor or celebration to a great drummer, a great percussionist and teacher, I'm going to talk about Dr. John Baldwin at Boise State, affectionately known as Doc. Everybody just calls him Doc. He's retiring this year at the end of the school year, which he just did last week, I believe, after 50 years at Boise State University. And so I thought I'd talk about Doc for a second for Sunday Stories. First off, I came to Boise State in the August of 1987 to work with the Blue Thunder Marching Band, which was new. Had been restarted after a hiatus of 10 years or so, 15 years, I don't know, something like that, in the 70s, and brought back in the 87. David Wells, my college band director at Murray State, went to Boise State to become the director there, and brought me out to be the drumline instructor and a graduate assistant for the marching band. Now, all that being said, I didn't know at the time, but my understanding is that John Baldwin had been the, I don't know if he's a marching band director or had been doing the pep band up to that point. And I don't know if he was planning on having involvement with the new marching band or not. He was the percussion instructor at the school. I came out after being kind of talked into doing it. I actually originally didn't want to do it. And Dave convinced me to go ahead and give it a try. I had actually decided I was going to move to Nashville. Anyway, I derailed and went to Boise. I ended up staying, obviously. So I went out there, and to be quite honest with you, I didn't know anything about John Baldwin. I'm sure he didn't know anything about me. So I showed up, and we kind of butted heads a little bit at first. We didn't get along very well. And it took a little time. Now, I had decided when I went that I was going to focus on my classes I had to take and the marching band, and making sure that I could handle that, because I had to do 20 hours of work for the department in addition to the marching band, and the games were on Saturdays, and we were there the whole day with the drum line. So I did not participate in any ensembles or anything like that my first semester there. And I think that might have been one of the reasons that Doc didn't get along with me initially, because I did not perform in the wind ensemble. I did, or what I think they called it, the symphonic winds. I did not participate in the percussion ensemble or anything. I just wanted to take a semester to get my feet wet, because I had been out playing on the road and going back to school to just get ready for it. And I don't know if that was appreciated very well by actually several faculty members, but I had made that decision prior to going that I was really just going to do the marching band and just do school and not do anything that first semester. Anyway, needless to say, I eventually walked into Doc's office one day, and we had a little bit of a, I don't know if you want to call it a heart-to-heart talk or something like that. He kind of expressed what he thought about things, and I expressed what I thought about some things, and I think we cleared the air. And from that point on, it was really more about just becoming an observer of what he did and how he did things. He's a very knowledgeable man, and just a very wise man. And he kind of has an approach that is maybe a little bit misunderstood by a lot of drummers coming in and percussionists coming in. Now, I had studied in college and got my undergrad at Murray State University. My biggest weakness was marimba, because I had no training whatsoever in marimba until I got to college. My melodic reading was not good at all. So I I had to work extra hard on marimba to do things, but I had good hands as a drummer. Now, I also could see that I had some issues that Doc didn't like. And I think that a lot of drummers that come in as mostly drummers that are playing drum set and playing a lot of the marching stuff, they're so used to playing down, especially back then. And Doc's whole thing was about playing away. No wasted motion. I'm going to have a stick here. You didn't start here and come up to go down. You started here and came right back to here. And it took me a while to understand. Now, I had heard that before and everything, but his thing was to get everything to playing the melodic percussion instruments, where you're playing away to get the best, drawing the sound out, not, the shortest point of the stroke is when you're hitting the instrument. And it makes sense on a lot of the melodic stuff. So his stroke was all about playing away and no wasted motion. And I think that a lot of drummers that came in were so playing down that they butted heads with him. But if you went through his process and you understood it, then you actually had a really nice sound on the marimba. And so I understood that. I did eventually play in the percussion ensemble, and he was patient with me. I'm sure there were times where he wasn't very happy because I wasn't always prepared. I did study some timpani with him for a while. So I did take some lessons with him. Again, I think that he had a little bit of a problem with the, almost, I guess, you'd almost say like the 80s template for drum set players, where everything was down and they played by ear and didn't read, and a lot of the drummers were coming in to study music and they lacked a lot of the basic skills. I think that is what he had a problem with. He liked taking players who had a melodic background and developing them into percussion because they didn't have a preconceived judgment of how to play. So he was able to develop that. He developed some very, very fine percussionists in that program that eventually, when I heard them, and they came in, because I had to audition for marching band, some of them, they were decent players, but their sound quality wasn't that good. And after working with him, where they played away and they evened that sound out, they ended up with a very good sound quality. So I think that once you understood what he was doing and why he was doing it, he had a lot to offer. And I think that he almost has that, he's not military-like in any way, but that thing about kind of like a soldier where you break them down and build them up. And I kind of think that's what his thing was. We got to a point where we became good friends, and I actually refinished several drums for him. He's quite a funny guy when you really get to know him. And we traveled to PASIC, Percussive Art Society convention several times, and had some trips with the Northwest Percussion Festival type things and everything. And he's really, really a cool and funny guy when you get to know him and stuff. So, I think when I first got there, he was maybe a little bit more of an old hippie with like shells and psychedelic stuff, and it kind of became more of just a, he always had the beard and the hair kind of combed back and the glasses. And he had a cool bow tie that was made of wood when he was in the Philharmonic, the Boise Philharmonic, which I got to play in several times with him and stuff too. So anyway, I guess long story short is that it took me a while to appreciate what he did and why he did it. But once I did understand, and he's very knowledgeable. Probably the most organized percussionist I've ever seen in my life. You ask him where something is, he knows exactly where it is and what cabinet and what drawer and everything. He always had a very, very organized area. So anyway, after 50 years, he's going to take some time off. I don't know what he's going to do, but anyway, Doc Baldwin. Congratulations on 50 years. Cheers to you. And this really is a drink. Congratulations, Doc. Thanks.